Okay. So for the general news, we had during last TSC meeting a presentations about GitOps to manage the CNF lifecycle management on top of Sylva by Morgan Richaume. There will be a demo on this topic during the Sylva mini summit by Sylvain Desbureaux. And it will be the opportunity also to exchange with new potential member on Sylva, for example, Swisscom or other interested companies in this topic. We discussed during last TSC with Serdar the opportunity to have a canonical RFE. Serdar, can you give an update? When do you want to present it during a TSC? If you can give a word.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Actually, I'm pretty flexible as to like when you guys would like me to present. I don't have really many slides. It's essentially it's going to be an introduction of what it is and how that can actually strengthen Sylva, something along those lines, and a few highlights about like what it actually would bring. So yesterday I attended the Work Area 1 meeting, and I talked to Mathieu there, and he suggested that perhaps like for the next week's Work Area 1 meeting, maybe I could go through it. If you prefer that I should bring this topic to the next TSC accordingly, that's fine. If you want me to explain what it is now, I can do that as well. It's totally up to you.
Okay, so we've got time today, so if you are ready, it's the opportunity to present it as you prefer.
Sure, I got only 4 slides, so that should be very quick.
Okay, so I propose it to do it at the end of this meeting.
Okay.
Thank you. And for future occurrence, the 25th of September, we will have a demo of Kunai. Kunai is a tool, so it's basically a web UI and API that enable to provision Sylva Kubernetes cluster. So it's a proposal of portal and platform strategy in Sylva, and it's really following the GitOps approach. So we think it's a good opportunity. We have studied internally within Orange to open source this part. We are almost to have a go, but we want also to have a go from the TSC if we have the interest of other partners in such technologies and components. Okay. We had some discussion about B2B connectivity use cases. We around networking. So we want to explain the differences of the complementary with HBR, so host-based routing solution, where DT is involved. And concerning this topic, Vuk Gojnik is also studying the proposal of Orange, which is quite different approach. Some operators or some partners of Sylva are also interested in this, but we definitely need to have a clear view about the differences about this proposal of B2B connectivity and the other one with HBR from DT. Any question on those topics or clarification if needed, of course? No, we did not have governing board information as the occurrence was cancelled. Is there any governance topic you want to raise during this TSC meeting? With Carlo, we did not identify, but if you have some.
I don't.
Okay. Okay. So I will let the floor to Matthew to have an update about Workgroup 1.
Hello, everyone. So what is happening on the development of the stack? So regarding the feature we are targeting for v1.2, we have good progresses. The first thing I'd like to share with you is that we were planning to release this v1.2 in October, but we are going to postpone this date a little bit because we do have a lot of instability in the CI. We are chasing the bugs, but we need time to work on that and to get back to a stable CI. It's really important for the sake of the project. So apart from reviewing all the features that we'd like to introduce.
And by the way, we had also, Matthew, an incident on GitLab yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that. And yeah.
Okay.
So incident on GitLab. We do have also other issues on the CI infrastructures. But apart of that, we also have a lot of issues and bugs that we like to take time to understand the root cause of it and how to properly fix them to get back to a stable CI. And this CI also includes cluster API rolling upgrades and test of upgrades from Sylva v1.1.1 to Sylva v1.2. So it's kind of challenging to have everything stable about it. But it's really important for us, and it's important for the future of the project in order to introduce new features in full confidence. Okay, regarding these releases and the corresponding features that we are going to introduce into this release. So the first one is about Cert Manager, being able to expose a Cert Manager API on each workload cluster. The job is done, and this feature is available in the main branch of Sylva. So we like also to bump the Kubernetes version we support and deprecate the latest one. So it's in good shape. We are testing the latest kubeadm and RK2 releases for the v1.29 releases. So it's under review, no blocker about it. Concerning DHCP-less, as you may know, so far deploying a bare metal workload cluster requires a DHCP infrastructure and corresponding networks. And we managed to find a solution to get rid of DHCP for deploying bare metal workload clusters. So it really simplifies the stack and the networking requirements that we have to our customers. So it really simplifies the deployment, the fact that we go DHCP-less now. So this feature is ready. What is lacking is the documentation of it in the technical portal. We also like to work on the I would say letting CNF or any application letting them making them, I would say, letting them allow them to use read-write many volumes. Sorry, this is not possible in OpenStack environments. For the time being, we can only deploy and use a read-write once volume. It's a limitation that we'd like to work on, and so the work about it is ready, but it deserves more testing.
So just to highlight this requirement, sorry, Matthew, to interrupt you, but this requirement is important for some network functions. So this is why it's important.
Yes, indeed. What we saw is that some CNF request bare metal clusters only because this feature is not available on OpenStack clusters. And yeah, this is not a good reason. So we need to land this feature as soon as possible to have those CNF requiring less resources based on the OpenStack deployment. And we'd also like to introduce some tech previews features. The first one is about immutable OSs. We are going to introduce our first immutable OS with libmicro 5.5. We keep working with Red Hat about being able to deploy an OKD cluster, which is a kind of open source version of OpenShift. So a tech preview should be available for it with a single node cluster on bare metal. And the other one I have not listed here is the GitOps workflow. A first version of the GitOps workflow will be available with v1.2 for everybody to start getting familiar with this new approach for deploying workload clusters.
Okay, many thanks, Matthew. It's a heavy release. Lots of new features. Even if in the meantime we want to stabilize the CI. Any question to Matthew and the Workgroup 1 team?
I apologize because I missed it. When is the next release date?
So we planned it for the 8th of November.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe earlier, but
okay, thank you.
The latest will be the 8th of November.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew, for this part. Now, following with Luis on the Validation Center.
Hello. Okay, in the Validation Center, well, first to say is that during August, we didn't have much activity. So it was pretty empty, the lab and the environments. So we didn't progress much. We still have the revalidation of the 6-win VSR in the Orange One platform is revalidated because we want to do it using the official Sylva version 1.0. Previous was with 0.3. So we are still working on that. We expect to have this soon. And we keep working in deploying new validation platform, the one including support for SLIOV over OpenStack, over IaaS in Telefonica. So we didn't progress much, as I say, in August. So the next things what we plan to do in the next weeks is complete this revalidation of the VSR in Sylva 1.0, complete the deployment of this new platform, and something new, something that we are starting is reviewing the first draft of security requirements, CNF security requirements that have been compiled by Working Group 3. So we are analyzing them to see if there's any test or validation script to be created to confirm those requirements in workloads before they are validated. So we are working on this review and we expect to have it in the next 2 weeks. And that's all, nothing additional to share or nothing to decide right now.
Thank you, Luis. And we will come back also on the CNF security requirements with Mihai. Is there any questions to Luis and the Validation Center stream? No? Okay, so Mihai, you're the next one.
Hello, everybody.
And I'm starting to open also the document, so you can introduce the CNF guidelines security. Okay,
yeah.
go.
Yeah, so over the summer, This was our main topic to work on, the CFNF guidelines, if you can just go to it. So just to give a very brief overview to everybody, the idea of the document is to have secure CNF deployed on the Sylva stack for them to be something which works okay and they are responsible. So the scope of this document is to give it to the CNF's vendors and to say that this is the way in which we want CNFs to be deployed on Sylva. In total, there are 15 requirements. I will not go through them with everybody, but I just want to mention that when we developed these requirements, we used the 4 principles of cybersecurity, so confidentiality, integrity, authenticity, and availability. So what you will read in this document is reflected into these these principles. We already gathered the collection from the working group of these requirements. We also discussed with some colleagues in Orange who are responsible for the part of deploying different CNFs and who have tested inside the Orange different CNFs. We got their feedback. The next purpose is to discuss with Luis and working group 2 and get the feedback on this. And I would say that pretty soon we will have the first official V1 version of the guidelines.
Mihai, do you need our support to share this document to the different vendors that are part of Sylva, Nokia, Ericsson, Huawei, ZTE, and so on?
Yes, for sure we will need, and I would like to get the feedback because the way the requirements have been written are kind of also an invitation for the vendors to provide their feedback and to see what they are willing to do and what they are not willing to do in terms of following these guidelines. So yes.
And we really need to be incremental, to not be too hard as on the first part, because if no CNF is able to be eligible to this must requirements, so it's just my warning on my side. For example, when I read a zero trust approach with test the CNF vulnerability even if upstream artifacts are claimed safe, I don't know about this, Matthew, François, Regis, if it's not too ambitious as a first iteration. Just
yeah, that was also one of the purposes, because we wanted to have a point of negotiation. So this is the maximum of everything we want, and from here we will start negotiating on what can be achieved. But we want to set the bar high on this.
Okay, I understand the strategy.
Okay. Yeah.
Any question to Mihai on this document? No? Okay. Yes, Mihai, you can follow.
Okay. So another thing we did over the summer was that we had a meeting with somebody who was working on the Medina project. So Medina was a joint project developed by several companies which were working on UCS at that point. Now they have a project called Emerald, which is a continuation. And basically what these guys are doing is that they're trying to create certification as a service for different softwares. So basically, if you want your software to be certified in different kinds of things, they are creating a software where they are putting the requirements of the certification, and they are doing testing. They are doing the auditing of your software to see how much of it is compliant. That's basically the whole idea behind the project. One of the things which one of the candidates and the first one they have started with, it's UCS. They have also in this project some cloud companies who are also doing a proof of concept for YAS and PAS for auditing. And basically the idea is that we want to exchange best practices with them, and the goal would be that at the end we kind of embark into this project in order for the US analysis implementation to be done automatically. Not implementation, but the audit to be done automatically using their tool. That would be the idea behind it. We will see how it goes. We have a meeting. We are planning a meeting in mid-September to see what can be shared and to start working into this direction. And
yeah. And concerning Emerald, is it business license or is it open source license tool?
It's open source, though the information they are having for the moment, I'm not sure how much they share, because this project is funded by an European grant. And they are the good news is that they have people from the ENISA who are working with this, but the feedback we got until now is that they need to check something internally before they start sharing with us how they have done the audit and what can they do.
Okay.
And we continued also with the US analysis of the document. We are around 80% completion, and that's pretty much all.
Okay, it's useful to have this completion rate. Thank you. To see how the project is progressing. Is there any question to Mihai? No. Okay, so we follow with you, Ramin. What's new about sustainability in Sylva?
Okay. Actually, I just found out how to update the wiki. But would you mind just going through the sustainability wiki? Okay. I just post the link in the chat. I will update the information after this meeting.
Okay.
On the progress.
Yeah.
So the since last TSC, mostly we are working on the green dashboards, on the data model, and how that data model will be fitting to different components in the stack. And how so for example, the Kepler is able to capture the information about workload, energy consumption, but it lacks the ability to manage the control plane. The cluster control plane is something shared by all the workloads. So the discussion is on yesterday is how we are going to divide the control flow or control plane energy consumption among all the workloads. That's number one question. The number two question is that the Kepler's ability to capture the workloads. Also, that's the first one. If you go to the first one.
Sorry. To come back on this one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So this is the overall data model that's going to be used for green dashboard. So we're going to have the workload activities, the node, the carbon information, and the data center information. Also there's a stretch goal of get the manufacturing embedded carbon data if we are able to get it from trusted sources. That is still work in progress. So we identified certain issues within the data formula, how we are going to calculate the carbon emission. And we also identified deployments issue that potentially needs to be worked out with the work group 1, how to get the IPMI credentials. So Kepler can use the credentials to access the IPMI to get the energy data. Because at the moment, the credential is very restricted. So we need to find a way to access the credential without exposing the unnecessary privileges in Kepler. So that is also a discussion we had yesterday. In the meantime, Orange also has the green scheduler projects that's outlined in the different meetings in work group 4. So we have not posted updates on the wiki yet, but the current I will definitely make that happen today. The current progress is that the green scheduler has been evaluated in a number of environments, including the bare metal, virtual machine, heterogeneous nodes, and homogeneous nodes. The benefits is observed in heterogeneous nodes. So that is consistent with what Red Hat also did internally. So we observed that sprint scheduler, we call the PICS, power efficiency aware Kubernetes scheduler. We observe that when we are running the scheduler in the heterogeneous nodes, certain nodes have more capabilities than the others. Then the power savings will be more obvious than homogeneous nodes. So this is something we also did collaboration. I will post that information once we are done the evaluation from both Orange and Red Hat, so we can have a joint discussion on how that will be put into use in power optimization. Yeah, that is all from our side.
Guillaume, you're in mute.
Thank you, Nicolas. I was say thank you to Amin for this presentation, and if you can fill some
Yes.
topics that you presented about Green Scheduler and Kepler in the next step, I think it's valuable to share this information. And
I do that.
and definitely we have some progress on this work group, so it's a good topic. We have a clear plan. Any question? Any questions to Amin? Anyone? Okay. So we're following with the communication and adoption work group. André was not able to join today, but we've got Nicolas, Naomi, who are fully involved in this working group. So,
Naomi, do you want to do the honors? Or should I?
Sure, I can. I can
Think
start.
your
with
English is better than mine, so go ahead.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you. I can start with a mini summit update. So as you all know, we have a mini summit planned during Open Source Summit Europe. We're really excited about that. At this time, we have 38 people registered, and the schedule has been live for a couple weeks now. Just in case you don't have that, let me go ahead and grab the link and I can send it to you all. Give me 1 second. But we hope to see most of you there. And if you have any questions, obviously you can be sure to reach out to me. And then we'll also be sending pre-event communications to everyone too, just so you know you all know the details. There'll be stickers, and then obviously you'll get to mix and mingle with us. So that's one of my main things. Another thing that we are looking into right now that we haven't solidified just yet is a potential dev day in India. Co-locating with KubeCon China. This is still in the very early just discussion phase, but it seems like it may work okay. Right now, we're just waiting for kind of what that event would cost, but it has been shared that it would be very beneficial for us to host a dev day in India. So we're excited about that opportunity. Other than that, am I missing anything? Maybe the Network X event, maybe Nicola, I don't know if Julie's online, but maybe you all could speak to that.
There is that. So Julie, you're there for the Network X preparation?
Nope, she's not on.
Okay. So we have several, so we have a joint event with HCNV at Network X. So this is upcoming. Several talks. So there will be a presentation of Sylva, I think, which will be made by Julie and Hanen from Red Hat. And then we have a deep dive session. So we have all the details. Maybe we will link you, give you a link to the event itself. It will be quicker than summarizing everything. Beyond that, thank you, Naomi. Oh, Guillaume, sorry. And beyond that, Naomi, you've been doing a lot of work on the website itself. I think it's been done during the summer holidays. So if you have a chance, you can go and have a look. We have a functional calendar. We have revised the get started. A lot of stuff has been moved around and updated. Still have a bit of work to do, but that's very much improved. And whatnot. LinkedIn. Okay, the visual on LinkedIn has been updated as well. the banner and the landing page on LinkedIn has been updated. Thank you. Yeah, we have a very reactive co-chairman. So Julie has been working on that with the help of Naomi as well. So that's been updated, and I think that's all for us.
One more thing, the governing board has developed a white paper that we would like to publish during the Sylva, not during the Sylva mini summit necessarily, but during the week of Open Source Summit Europe. And I think we're hoping to share that out with some TSC members, if not the entire TSC, hopefully this week, so we can get that wrapped up and published during the week of Open Source Summit, which would be great news pickup for us. So.
And there is another thing. We have, is it a press release, Naomi, that is being prepared? Because we have good news. It's a good opportunity for the Linux Foundation to communicate on the fact that Sylva, what's done in Sylva, is going to be used in production. So within Orange, we have a major RFP for the MEA affiliate, and Sylva, let's say, the telco cloud that is going to be used to deploy some of these functions is based on Sylva. So we will make it's a press release or a case study?
It's a case study.
Case study.
Yep.
In order to
And we're hoping
communicate.
to publish that as well during the same week. So we should have like a lot of nice little news pickups during that time. So that was a lot, huh?
Yeah.
Not too shabby for summer holidays.
Yeah. Just one note though that was flagged in the Slack channel a while back regarding the Get Started page on the website. We had linked on the install, and I'll go ahead and send this to y'all just so you can pull it up. But we had linked the install button, and I'm not sure what happened to that page on GitLab. So that's something that we might want to get fixed. I think it originally went to just the overview of getting started and install with Sylva. And so that page is now missing. So like the link that I just sent, if you click install, now that gives us this page does not exist, and I can't find it. So it'd be really good if someone could like point me to the new page or like look into what happened to it, because I'm just not sure. And it's
Yes, I will do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we updated the documentation and we moved some pages.
Oh. Okay, perfect. So if I could have that, I'm happy to do that.
So if you can give the new link.
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
Probably it's this one, but Matthew, if you can confirm. Matthew, is it this
yes,
one?
it is. It is.
Okay. So you've got it.
Perfect. Thank you.
In the chat.
I keep going. Apparently, Work Group 5 has been super active. So one last thing that I wanted to share with you all that we determined. So as you know, this project is very involved in a lot of different events and everything, and we're always coming up with different presentations. And one thing that was decided was that we needed kind of like a central location so people can just go to like one main copy that we could all kind of copy and build from. So I created this. It's still a work in progress. But it's one of our intro slides, introduction to Sylva slides that we're going to start basically sharing out. And I'm also going to have this on the website. I did talk to the working group, and we also indicated that it's probably best to have a few slides in addition that goes more into a technical deep dive. So we're working on developing that as well. But this is something that also came out this summer. So quite busy.
Exactly. So great. If I sum up, we will have some stickers and you will participate to the Open Source Summit.
Yes. And
Okay.
I will be there. Unfortunately, I'm coming from another project, but I'm going to be splitting my time between the two. But Andre did let me know today. So we also have a table at LF Member Summit, which is taking place on that same Thursday. And Andre let me know today that it actually is not in the same location as we were all thinking. And I apologize because that was an oversight on my part. I don't know why I thought it was in the same location. So additionally, we had a call to the community to kind of have multiple volunteers be able to kind of come in and out so everyone could participate in the mini summit. But now that other venue is 20 minutes away. So Andre said that he will take point on the table. So we all can enjoy mini summit. And then probably after that, after mini summit is over, since it's over at 12:30, then those of you who plan on joining member summit can just go ahead and head over. So we worked that out this morning. And again, I apologize because I don't know how or why I thought they were in the same location, but we will have stickers at both events.
Okay. Is there a link where we can register to be volunteers on the sponsor table?
Yeah, let me get that to you. Honestly, I think because it's probably just going to be like a half day thing, we probably only need about 2 or 3 people. And I know Andre already volunteered and we have some few more, but Guillaume, if you obviously want to sit at the table, we will definitely welcome you there. So
Yeah, I want to participate, even if on the Sylva Dev Day on the afternoon, I will be at the LF Member Summit.
perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I will definitely send that to you.
LF
All right.
Europe Summit, sorry. Okay. So don't hesitate to share me the link. I will add it to the minutes of this TSC. So now we are going to follow by the RFE from Canonical. So Serdar, you are still on the call, so great.
I have to go to the bank. Come on.
Yeah, I give you the floor.
Mom told me to pick you up. What do you want me to do?
No, not Hanan, Serdar.
Oh, sorry, guys.
No,
I went off mute.
Okay, thanks. I don't think I have the rights to share my screen.
Yeah, but I can arrange this issue.
Thank you.
So Serdar, you are here. Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a very super quick introduction. Essentially, I have only 4 slides, but I think it gives the idea. Can you guys see the screen, by the way? Because I lost it on. All right, awesome. So this RFE currently hasn't been submitted on the repository itself, so I wanted to basically give an outline to everybody on the call. Essentially, what we want to do is to provide another Kubernetes distribution to Sylva project to strengthen its message about platform uniformity with open source, and that provides us with another Kubernetes distribution, of course, where the Sylva units, the tool chain that's distributed by Sylva, would govern the deployment and management of Kubernetes, canonical Kubernetes clusters at scale, hopefully, for workload and management sites. So we have cluster API providers for canonical Kubernetes. These are public and open sourced, which we want to leverage, of course. And the provisioning will be done via those cluster API providers and on Ubuntu operating system. And then obviously this is going to be a little bit of this exploration as well, as we are new technically in the project as hands-on contributors now. So we will need to understand like how Sylva toolchain works. Initially, there will be a little bit of slow start, but we will get there eventually, and Sylva will gain another case distribution. So with canonical Kubernetes, just as an outline, is an open source distribution of Kubernetes, which is built with upstream Kubernetes components. And it comes with essential K8s services as built-ins. You can run it on single node or multi-node architecture, so it basically scales according to the requirements of the environment, either edge or the center cloud locations. And also it runs in string confinement in a technology we call snaps, essentially that allows it to not be altered by external entities and software that runs on the same system at the same time. This is quite important, of course, for the telco sector, where the distribution must be safeguarded with the utmost security confinement limits. So the work to be done is, in general, if this is like a super high level, obviously an outline of what needs to be done is we want to first deploy and test the Sylva toolchain, get our hands dirty with the environment, make a workable environment that we can actually start to push our upstream contributions with. That's deployment and testing on canonical Kubernetes on Ubuntu platforms, make sure everything works. And then we want to, obviously, we will need to have some contributions to the repository with necessary scripts that will enable copy providers for canonical K8s to be recognized by the Sylva tool chain. So there are multiple locations in the repository. We did our best so far to understand the repository structure. We've gone through all the technical repository files. I believe there are two essential ones. One of them is Sylva core and the Sylva elements repositories, where you would need to add new scripts, and there are other files where you have some options as to what's being currently used as deployed as a distribution. So we noticed those as well. So there will be obviously a conversation with all the colleagues in the project, sharing of ideas, and then so that we can have like a smooth addition of yet another K8s distribution, which will make the project stronger. So that's it really. But I wanted to also highlight some of the features that comes as supported with canonical Kubernetes. These are seem to be very highly requested when we look into the already verified CNFs on the platform. There is a source in the GitLab of Sylva to check those. We realized that actually quite a few of these already are requested. There are multiple CNIs, support for those multiple CNIs, techniques like SRIOV, CPU pinning, and some storage technologies. They will come with canonical Kubernetes. And of course, we will need to work towards ensuring that these features are enabled when the cluster is deployed, and they will activate it as necessary and all that. So that will be part of the work to make sure. That's why we need to first set up this test environment for us to work on. So yeah, that's it really. Any questions?
Are you beginning with OpenStack deployment or bare metal one in your test?
We want to, yes. Yeah, so yeah, the ambition is actually to have both, but we need to start from somewhere. So we want to start with bare metal first. So to make sure that we actually have one stack in place, one layer, and then add another layer later on. So I think there will be also like transfer of skills and the experience there we can readily use for the other environment as well. So yeah, it will be both eventually.
I have a question to Sardar. No?
I have a lot of technical questions, but we will discuss that during the workgroup meeting.
You can always. Yeah,
I
sure.
have one comment. Adding these Kubernetes distributions also requires to test the network function, well, the workloads that we have already tested on top of this flavor or this configuration. Is this also planned or intended to have a platform configured with this flavor and then run the workloads that we have already validated in a previous flavor?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that is pretty much the essence of the project itself. Of course, like we need to have all the platforms tested, CNS tested run on top, and we will follow your guidance as to like how to go about it essentially. So as a new technical contributor to the project, there must be some routines and procedures we need to follow. So absolutely, yeah. And Matthew, you can always contact me via the email if you have any technical questions. I can ask folks around as well. I'm a product manager at Telco, by the way. Sorry, I did not introduce myself. So I'm not as techy as the other folks are. So I would need to rely on them and ask them some of the questions that you might have and provide you with the answers.
But will the technical engineer behind the scene be available for the next workgroup one meeting?
Not for the next work group meeting, but we will have the engineer joining us very soon. So we basically arranged our resources accordingly. But for the next technical meeting, if you have any questions ahead of time, obviously I can. Some of them I hope that I can answer myself, but others ones which I may not have any clue about, I will obviously ask the folks.
Okay.
So that's it from me, Guillaume.
Okay. So before closing this TSC, is there anyone who have a question or an additional comment, something we have missed? No, thank you. I have recorded this TSC, so you'll have a YouTube link if you want to watch it tomorrow night, and also you'll have the minutes before the end of this week. Thanks all. Bye.
Thank you, bye.
And see
Thank
you
you.
at
Bye.
Vienna for some of you.
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.